Hey guys, welcome to The Dose, episode number 3. Woo! I'm Aaron, this is Max, and this is a special episode today. It's going to be all about Trifold coffee, and just coffee in general. They're going to show us their process, and give you a little sneak peek about how to do V60 coffee, so stick around.
So after this episode, y'all better know how to make really awesome coffee. Yo, we're here with Trifold today. Why don't you guys just introduce yourselves so we don't talk?
Oh, I'm Bree.
My name's Alex.
And this is Trifold. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, for
I know
sure.
it took like a half an hour to get stuff set up, but we appreciate it. It's really awesome. So we have some questions for you today, just about your coffee in general, and just random stuff. So I guess our first one would be, how did you guys get this going? Like, what was who brought it up?
Well, it was kind of Alex's first initial thought. And yeah, so I don't know if you want to talk a little bit where you came up with the idea. And
I started really liking coffee throughout high school, and then I got into college and I started learning more about pour over coffee, which is what I'm doing right now, the ethics of coffee, direct trade, fair trade, that kind of thing. And I really got interested in it, so I started doing more research and just really started falling in love with coffee and the entire coffee process.
Nice.
And it'd really be cool to start my own roasting business. So
yeah, so you kind of had the idea.
Yeah.
And then I started getting more into like specialty coffee when I was in LA for the summer and worked for a really short period of time at La Mille, and just started learning way more about coffee and got super into cold brew and did my branding project on cold brew for graphic design too. And I posted it on Instagram, and then later that day I came into Joe's and Alex was sitting there, and he just struck up conversation about my branding that I did for the cold brew project. And then that's kind of when he shared with me his idea, and I fell in love with the direction that he wanted to go, and so I've just kind of partnered with him on the project.
Awesome.
So.
Sweet. Well, you guys are doing an awesome job from what I can tell. And
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, this, it's cool. I actually went and saw Bree's design project for the cold brew, and it was a really cool thing to see. And for all you people who just drink McDonald's coffee, there's a lot more that goes into this than someone just putting a little K-cup in a Keurig.
A little bit more than that.
Yeah, it's a really intricate process. That
so worth it.
Yeah, and if you watch it, it's a really cool thing to see in action. I mean, there's scales back here and roasters, so they know what they're doing, and they can make some good coffee.
Definitely.
Thank you guys.
Since you're doing this roasting business, what's your favorite blend, or where do you get most of your coffee?
Oh, where do we get?
Where do you get most of your coffee beans?
Our green coffee beans
Green
that we
coffee
roast.
beans, yeah.
Okay. Well, we only do single origins right now, so we haven't messed around with blends or anything yet. And we've gotten our coffee green beans from a couple of different places. Right now, our ultimate goal is to do direct trade, where we purchase coffee from the farmer directly, and we've got some. Yeah, we got some.
Sorry.
Okay, good.
That was odd.
We've got some leads on that, and so we're just kind of waiting to hear back. Hopefully, we'll be purchasing a large quantity of green coffee from El Salvador from the farmer directly soon. But Alex, you can talk a little bit about where we have gotten our coffee from, maybe.
So we started our process by getting our coffee from Sweet Maria's, based out of Oakland, California. They are a home roasting green coffee sourcer. They also have a more industrial sized green bean sourcing company called Coffee Shrub. And we were looking at that for a long time, but then we came across Temple Coffee Roasters. And that's where we've been doing our latest offerings, the Ethiopia Boca and the Brazil Sidio de Bone.
Yeah.
What was that? Cool. That's awesome. So what do you mean by I have no idea what coffee is? I mean, I've literally this semester have been getting into drinking only black coffee, and it's really good. What do you mean by green coffee?
So coffee actually is a plant.
Yep.
It comes, the The bean actually isn't a bean; it's a seed that comes inside a coffee cherry that grows on this. Man, it can be like a tree. It can be a bush. There's a ton of different varieties of coffee. It's kind of like apples in that sense. Like there's Fiji apples, Granny Smith, and they all kind of taste different. The same goes for coffee. So whenever it's a seed, it's green, and they go and you have to mill it, clean it, dry it, wash it, dry it again, and really like care for it to get a good quality cup. And then those green beans come to people like us. We roast them, and the roasting process is also kind of complicated. There's a lot that goes into it. You can do light roast, dark roast, medium roast, all that give the coffee a different feel, different flavor as well. So coffee is just a very intricate thing, and that's
definitely.
There's so many details that go into making a quality cup of coffee that are variables in what you're drinking. So.
yeah.
Well, yeah, like I think I've read too. I can't like just the environment that it's grown in affect the way it tastes.
Absolutely,
Or,
that's
like
why.
what it's grown next to.
Yeah, that's why like single origins have come so much into popularity, because each region that the coffee is grown is going to bring out different flavors. Just like if you have like a mango from I don't know, Hawaii and a mango from Florida. I don't know if those things are grown there, but they're going to taste different.
Right.
So that's the same concept for green beans and
Awesome.
coffee.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, there's not a Keurig sitting here. These are called V60.
Correct.
So they're gonna show us a little bit on a little bit of the process of how they actually get beans to coffee.
Cool.
So basically, this is like, you've all probably seen the inside of like a Mr. Coffee drip coffee maker. It kind of looks like this. Basically, this just holds the coffee. It has this kind of vortex on the inside that keeps the filter away from it, so the coffee is kind of like in anti-gravity. It's cool. But so we're gonna dump coffee in here after we put a filter in. The coffee will get then we're gonna pour the hot water over it, and that's gonna get the coffee wet, and it's gonna bloom. The grounds are gonna start expanding and opening up, and that's where you start to like be able to extract flavor out of the coffee. And that's why this kind of coffee and specialty coffee tastes so good. Is a lot of the Mr. Coffee drip grinders or drip machines and stuff don't bloom it. They just kind of go for it, and so you don't get the taste out of the coffee.
Gotcha.
So we just manually do it. Set it on top of, this is just a decanter, something to just catch the coffee. Then we take our kettle with the gooseneck spout, and we just pour water. There might still be some water. Yeah, we would just pour water into it slowly after it's bloomed, just to extract the flavor, really.
Right.
Everything has ratios, so we use a 14 grams coffee to 230 grams water ratio for each one of our cups. Yeah, it's kind of like a giant science project.
Gotcha.
It really is, actually.
That's actually really awesome.
What a delicious.
Sorry, I'm trying not to get my shadow in there. What's that? This bad boy right here.
So this is a grinder. It's a burr grinder. Some people know that coffee is better freshly ground because, like I was talking about earlier, coffee's like apples in the sense that it has different varieties.
Yep.
But it also starts going bad as soon as you open it or grind it.
So
that's
coffee
why,
actually goes bad?
Yeah, coffee
Wow.
actually goes bad very fast.
That's crazy.
Once you roast it, it starts going bad immediately. So you kind of we have to wait 8 hours after roasting it to let the carbon dioxide and all that kind of stuff get out of the bean fully, and then we can start brewing it.
Gotcha.
And so once the coffee bean's opened, you usually have to get it into a brew method rather quick, or you're going to start losing flavor and quality of the coffee.
Gotcha. Sweet, man. Well, thanks for taking us through the process.
No problem.
That's pretty sweet.
Well, if you guys want to keep in touch with us and learn more about Trifold Roasters, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, if you're a student of Greenville College, every Tuesday night here at Black Room Cafe, we sell coffee here, hand-brewed coffee made by Alex for you guys to consume. $2 for a cup, so if you guys want to come just hang out. And then also too, if you guys want to buy some coffee beans, we have an online store, or you can email trifoldroasters@gmail.com, and we can get in touch with you and give you some coffee.
And we can give you whole bean or ground coffee, whichever you want.